Harish, thank you very much for coming in. It's obviously, topic is going to be UX and design, and basically the top three areas and focus in UX there. So, Harish, I'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Jess, and thanks, Jess, for an awesome facility over here. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this kind of a facility, trying to be able to share the knowledge and share the experiences and being able to learn from each other, because we don't have the time to be able to learn everything ourselves. So we need to compress the time and share it so we can all benefit from it, because sharing and caring can get us much more. And business is all about people and trust, right? So when you share and care, automatically business is going to come. So I'll ask you a question. The first question is, are you guys completely tired where you can't absorb information? If that is the case, then this is going to be a boring presentation. But if you are able to absorb the information, because it's going to be an information overload, because I can't compress it further, because this is a huge presentation. So let's get started. Quick background, right? You saw work at Agile, senior enterprise, UI, UX, accessibility, mobility, advocate, and developer, and design. I've done my mechanical engineering, so there is an aerospace engineer over here, right? Into aerospace, so I've done my mechanical engineering bachelor's in India, master's over here. My master's was published in a journal called Structure and Multidisciplinary Optimization. So if I talk the master's title, it will be like gibberish: sequential optimization and reliability assessment for multidisciplinary systems design. Nobody will understand this because it's high level of probabilistic algorithms, mathematics, and that code is patented towards my research. Only GM and Ford, aerospace companies, Boeing, those guys are interested in those kind of areas. Fortunately, I was able to move from mechanical engineering to software engineering and started my career in these kind of industries, all these industries, and these are the clients that have worked and employers have worked. So got a depth and breadth of knowledge in different domains and 13 plus years of professional experience in some very good investment banking, financial sector, hospitality industry. You recognize it all. So going, as I said, we'll do it sometimes in reverse. We started with Oz or Jacob there. I'm starting it in the reverse. References first, because this information, as I said, is been a lot of learning and experience and a lot of sources, and along with my material included and many more. So I can't even list all the sources. So it's an exhaustive list. So the question comes, right? There is a big nice button for the download on the website, and that suddenly disappeared, right? And an application that used to have a nice save button over there, that suddenly disappeared. So the technologists thought it was a cool feature to use Ajax and autosave and auto functionality, and add the download button is down. You have to scroll down. So what got introduced? Anybody can answer that? What has been introduced? Has an awesome feature, innovative technology, friction, or the users got happy about it? What was introduced?
Friction.
Great, awesome. There was not even an answer about other things. However, technology companies and product owners sometimes think that they are innovating and they are giving an awesome feature, but you are introducing friction because you are going against the norm. So everybody goes in the left, right, in the driving, and when you're going in the opposite direction, sometimes it is not that helpful. So friction is the topmost aspect of the user experience. So I said there are 3 areas of focus, but there is a 4th one. We will not have time to cover it, but I will just introduce the 4th one. This is the first one, friction. So can anybody define what is friction?
Moving cheese.
Moving?
Moving the cheese, you know, where people are making things.
Great definition.
Resistance.
Yeah.
Resistance.
Resistance. Awesome.
Frustration.
Frustration. Yes, exactly. So this is how frustration looks like, right? So UX, when it introduces friction, it brings frustration to the people. However, when it reduces the friction, it makes people happy. It is a happy thing, right? So what is UX? It is the feelings, the emotions, the memories, all that a product creates. This is a product, Apple iPhone, I love from a decade. And I have been trying to love a little bit of Android, but I can't because I'm so much attached to it, and I would spend more money for an iPhone than an Android. I'm sorry for Android folks, it's not an offense, but it's my personal preference, right? This has reduced the friction so much that it helps me so much that I can't even live without it, right? So there is a term for it. It's called emotional friction, the reduced emotional friction for that. So since I don't have much friction with it, I have emotional attachment towards my product or whatever I like, or we all like something or the other. So what is the desired result? The desired result is a happy customers, right? Any business has clients and you want to make them happy. And once they are happy, they become your most valuable proponents. And once they are most valuable proponents, because I was introduced to an iPhone by a friend of mine, and I was always looking, oh, that's very expensive, I can't afford it, I don't want to even look into what it offers. But he somehow took some time and showed me the features, and I could see Google on an iPhone, and I was like sold within 1 minute. So, good news travels fast. It's like a speed of sound, good news, but bad news travels like light, speed of light, which is, but good news travels fast. So as far as your product and offering and services are in the good news side, it's still traveling sound. It's the word of mouth, we call it as, right? It's the sound traveling. So happy, satisfied users who become most valuable proponents. So, user experience is a discipline. Yeah, had a question? User experience is all of it. Is tip of the iceberg, right? So, people think, oh, UI, UX, let's UX the UI and we should be done. And that makes the shipwrecks, the products which fail and which cannot even tackle because they underestimated the design and the technology, they underestimated the research and the science that goes, because there is human factors incorporated there. There's a big company that talks about human factors and does certification and certified user experience analyst or certified user experience professionals, certified usability analyst, and there's a huge amount of research and huge amount of user testing and lots of things that needs to happen for a product to be successful. Because if you just think, oh, let's throw the UI on front of what our services are, the RESTful services, JSON services, it's not going to be a successful product unless you have carefully considered the design and technology, and you have done your research, you've done the user testing, you have interviewed your users, you know what your users need before even go to wants. So please do the needs first before the wants, right? If we get what we want, but we are hungry, I get my iPhone, and but I'm hungry, right? So my iPhone is not valuable at that particular point of time when I'm hungry. I need pizza, right? So users should always be given what they need before they are given what they want. And I've been recently thinking that the term user has been overused. User is nothing but, there is a next slide after this. User for now, in this context, let's take as a person or people. So UX, in my mind, is PX, person experience or people experience. So a new iPhone model coming up will be people experience, right? How they receive the new features and awesomeness and coolness and all that stuff. So then we can ask, okay, users sometimes are non-human beings, which are systems. All these systems, which are systems or apps or services talking to, or cell phone towers, hardware infrastructure, anything. So UX could also be PX, which is platform experience or system experience, right? So recently, in the last decade or so, UX has grown so much that they have to make it into two, UX and CX, user experience and client experience. I would like to call it a client experience because client is a nice terminology, a nice term than a customer experience, right? Customers, yes. Yeah, your retail chain can call it customers, but in professional software industry, let's call it as client experience, not customer experience. So, user experience is when you are using a product like an iPhone and iPad or whatever it is, right? The feelings and the memories, the moments that it creates. However, customer as well, client experience is what the brand creates. So Apple. So I love iPhone, iPad, and other things, but I don't like much MacBook, right? But I can be changed. But that's the client experience. So when we value the brand. So can anybody tell how much is the brand value of Apple right now? Brand value. Just that logo value. How many? 700?
Yeah.
I thought last time I read it was 162 billion. So the brand, when your business, if you put a hat of a business owner, your own company, your brand needs to elevate itself so that it has a brand value. So your marketing strategy with your color, with your design, with your logo, being consistent everywhere, and you can change your icons like Microsoft did from the Windows icon, which was a flying kind of thing with the square boxes. You can change it, but it's a cost, right? You're spending millions of dollars, like Microsoft spent millions of dollars on square things compared with their previous logo. So, what is the deeper meaning of user experience? We talked about the friction. So there are three types of friction: cognitive friction, emotional friction, and physical friction. So when a friction is introduced, it could be cognitive. That means information overload, and it could be a physical friction where your save button is here and you have filled the bottom of the form at the bottom, and now you're searching for your save button, which is at the topmost. So you're introducing physical friction. And then emotional friction, where I talked about earlier with my iPhone, is my emotional friction. I have a lowest emotional friction because I love the iPhone. So there is an inverse proportional, there is a graph I'm going to share later. So let's do the cognitive friction test, right? I will be showing you two slides, one slide of an expensive brand and one slide which sells cheap brand. I'll give you 2 seconds to see it and tell me which one is an expensive brand. Ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah. So, the expensive brand. Which one is the expensive brand?
First.
Can you tell why?
Because of the name in front of it. Banana Republic.
Yeah, the name is, they already got the brand value, right? Banana Republic. So you are associating with the brand value. What else do you see in the picture?
Personalization.
Yes.
They're letting you concentrate on two
Well,
things
two
instead of
things
the
versus-
kitchen sink.
Exactly. You guys got it. You guys are rocking. Awesome. This is the kitchen sink, right? You can advertise 10 things and do the information overload. Or, and you can be elegant. So the choice is, as a business owner, if you're putting your business owner hat, what is your choice? How you want to give your product away and services away, right? So let's go into the software world, right? A software, applications, systems, mobile apps, anything, having too much friction with all these kind of things, right? Scrolling and forms and all the stuff. So next 2 slides, I will have 2 slides. Again, 2 seconds each. I would like you to tell which one introduces cognitive friction, heavy cognitive friction. 2 seconds. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, which one? First one.
Yeah.
Cognitive friction. Huge amount of cognitive friction, right? Yeah, this is brain aneurysm. Awesome. Exactly. It's called brain CPU cycles. We are going to get into the later of the talk about what brain CPU cycles are. This is information overload. Overload that introduces too much friction that you don't even want to look at it. So people who are, can you imagine people who are working on this app hating it? Yes, right? 99% are going to hate it. Somebody who is going to ignore that and just value about the numbers are going to like it. However, this has been developed with user experience in mind and reducing the cognitive friction, reducing the emotional and physical friction. So the form is easy to fill and the form is been nicely categorized. So you can easily get to the form and then the buttons are visible. So you can re-architect, redesign with user experience in mind to an awesome user experience, from an awful to awesome, right? So, I always think there are 3 legs for anything to stand, especially in the software world. Those are the 3 legs, right? User experience, architecture, and user experience, security, and performance. So if you have a cool app, which is awesome graphics and everything, but the performance is so poor that it will take 30 seconds to load each screen, would your users use it? No. Same thing with, we will have everything, awesome performance, awesome graphics, but we will compromise on your security because we don't want to invest on security too much. Would you like to use it? So, the answer is we need all 3.